According to a study the National Law Center on Homelessness and Poverty conducted this past April, there are 1,750,000 homeless people in the United States. This same study found that 31 million Americans live in hunger or are on the edge of hunger. St. Thomas of Canterbury is a Catholic parish trying to improve these statistics right in our own backyard. It is located a few blocks off the Red Line's Lawrence stop on North Kenmore Avenue. Every Tuesday and Friday night, the church opens their doors to feed the homeless in the community. The soup kitchen serves around 120 to 170 people from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. There is a group of Loyola students who volunteer at the soup kitchen every Tuesday and Friday. They meet at 3:40 p.m. in Damon 232 across from the campus ministry office. Volunteers take part in every step of the process. You can help prepare the meals, set up tables, serve food, and clean up once the night is over. Volunteering at the soup kitchen is a great way to give back and get to know the community that we are now a part of as Loyola students. The problem of homelessness and hunger is, of course, not as prevalent in the suburbs where I came from. Spending time at the St. Thomas of Canterbury parish put into perspective the issue of poverty, hunger, and homelessness. I genuinely enjoyed helping out at the soup kitchen, and I plan to go back soon.
I was very satisfied with my experience at the soup kitchen, and I know that I will return. Because I've participated in different soup kitchens before, I had an idea of what it was going to be like, but it was actually so much different. Before, I never actually sat down to talk to the homeless because where I used to go, we hardly ever had any volunteers, so there was never time. This time I got the chance to do that, and it really opened my eyes to the struggles of these people. I think homelessness has a certain negative stigma attached to it. People may think that the homeless are in their situation because they're lazy and don't want to find a job, but the reality couldn't be more different. They might be going through a divorce or death in the family. Some of these people came to America in search of a job but were never able to find a stable one. It's important to get an understanding of what they're going through because that way we can break the cycle of people thinking that they choose to be homeless. Going to the soup kitchen made me realize how similar their struggles are compared to our own struggles, and that it doesn't make sense for us to treat them with disrespect because in the end we're all human and we all go through these situations at some point in our lives.
We're in our 39th year. We've been doing this pretty much like this, only we got a lot better at it. You learn a few things in 39 years. But it's been a very successful, very blessed, and very safe 39 years. Okay, so I just wanted to give you, a perspective of how long we've been doing this. Your grandmas could come here to work, okay, when they were in college. Because 37 years ago, my name appeared in the church bulletin as director of soup kitchen. So I went to the pastor. I said, "Mike, what's this?" And he said, "Well, you're the only one down there who's not totally crazy." He was talking about the volunteers, not the guests. "So you're in charge." I said, "Okay, I'll do it till someone else comes along." It was 37 years ago, so nobody else has come around. But it's obviously been a wonderful 37 years, or would I still be here? Well, that's an open question.
Hi, my name is Laquita Perkins. I am the Assistant Director of St. Thomas of Canterbury Soup Kitchen. I was a volunteer for about 7 years, and then this past year I have been the Assistant Director, so a total of 8 years I've been here. I actually used to... One of my favorite moments would have to be, there is a family that comes in here actually ever so often. It's a mother and her 2 young sons, and every time they come in, we always talk about Ninja Turtles or whatever toys they had got or how school was, and it's a lovely time.
My name is Ben Jastrzewski. I'm 20 at the moment. I'll be turning 21 in November. I've been volunteering here for ages. Probably around 16 years. I was smaller than our soup pots, so I fit into them very comfortably. So yeah, I'm a student at U of I, going into my junior year, so yeah.
Why do you keep coming back to volunteer?
I really like the soup kitchen. It's something my family's done since I was a kid. So I originally got into it for that, but I just really enjoy doing service work. So I've done other stuff throughout my life, but soup kitchen is one of the favorite things that I like to do with my family. So,
What's your favorite part about coming here?
I actually enjoy washing the dishes, which is kind of weird.
Me too.
So I used to do other jobs, work in the front, outside. I actually wasn't allowed in the kitchen for several years when I used to work here, but since then I've moved into the big kid world, so now volunteering and then working with my brother when he's around. So
Love here tonight. Love is simply paying attention. Okay, now we invited them in. It would be rude to invite them in and then ignore them, right? So we need to not focus on each other. You have your friends you came with. Just kind of ignore them today and focus on the guests. So some guy, you know, remember these people with no power. They have no money, no economic power. They have no political power, very little force of personality, not much sex appeal. They don't have much going for them. They get pushed around all day long. Get out of my store, you can't use my washroom, get away from my porch, don't eat on my car. Take a bath, get a haircut, you're stupid, don't talk that way, Here we say, come in, sit down, share some bread with us, okay? Referring to is Luke 14:12-14, Jesus invited to dinner. He's not treated very well according to the norms of his time. So he says to his host, when you give a dinner, do not invite your friends, your relatives, or your rich neighbors, because they may invite you back, and then you will have received a reward. But when you give a dinner, go out on the highways and the byways, get the sick, the blind, the infirm, the cripple, and the lame, and then rejoice that they cannot pay you back. So great is your reward in heaven. Okay, so
I like the fact that every time they come in here, it's like they always gotta give me a hug, they say hi or whatever. We always joke around, we dance and everything like that. So it's like really nice because that moment reminds me of why I keep doing it, and it like really shows that like when we have volunteers and guests here, we're not just helping them out, or they're just not regular people. They're technically our family because we try to treat them like family. So that's one of my greatest moments. And plus, my other moments is, of course, hanging out with the volunteers, and they're very, very crazy. You develop a family too, so it's like I have an extended family. I have someone else I can call mom or dad here, or brother and sister, or something like that. So.
The St. Thomas of Canterbury Soup Kitchen organization helps promote Jesuit values and the belief of caring for yourself, caring for others, and caring for the community in the best way possible. Volunteering at the Soup Kitchen will help you grow not only as a leader, but also as a person. Strong leadership is a key factor that helps the organization run, but acceptance and generosity is something that keeps people coming back. Everyone wants to make sure that the guests have a pleasant time and that everything is as fair as it can get. The leaders make it clear to us that although these people may be homeless and different from us, they are still humans and deserve our full respect. They told us that one of the nicest things we could do is just sit down and talk with some people for a few minutes because it shows them that we can all see eye to eye. In this way, you're not only expanding your own knowledge of what's going on in our city, but you're also lending an ear to people who may not have had the chance to share their story before. The organization is great at promoting the fact that sharing really is caring. Almost none of the people who run the organization get paid to do it. They take the time out of their day to come to the soup kitchen because they love to do it. The volunteers also take the time and talk with the people over a shared meal, and it makes everything feel like more of a home. The soup kitchen not only helps those who come, but also at the end of the night, they sometimes bring over some extra food to the nursing home a few doors down. This showed a really strong sense of connection to others, and how the organizers there care not only for themselves and for the homeless, but also for the community around them.
While I was at the St. Thomas of Canterbury Soup Kitchen, I was introduced to a world where the Jesuit values were put into action. All the volunteers were eager to help in every step of the process, whether it was in the prep by chopping onions or sorting desserts, during the actual service by making sure all of the needs of the people who attended were met, or washing dishes, or afterwards in the cleanup process. Where I came from, community service was an obligatory thing that people only did because they were forced to in one sense or another. It was a breath of fresh air to finally come to a place where it was clear purely by the atmosphere that the volunteers there wanted to help the less fortunate, and the people who were unfortunate enough to be homeless were grateful for the hospitality shown to them through the soup kitchen and its volunteers. I would gladly return there in the future and maybe do more jobs other than the dishwashing.